Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something a bit different, maybe even surprising. Metal detecting.
Metal detecting.
Yeah, but not just as, a hobby for weekends at the beach. We're looking at it as a way to actually earn some side income. Found some really interesting stuff on this.
Huh. Okay, well, my first thought goes straight to, retirees combing the sand. I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical. How does that make actual money? Sounds more like, well, just a pastime.
That's exactly what I thought. It's the common picture, right? But this article by Paul Edgerton, which is what we're diving into, it really changed my perspective.
Oh, yeah. What do you find?
He actually shadowed these two guys, Mike and Dave, and they're consistently pulling in what he calls decent side income.
Decent. Okay.
Yeah, and we're talking real numbers here, not, finding Captain Kidd's treasure chest fantasies. So let's dig into what's actually possible.
All right, let's hear it. The big question first. Money. How much are we really talking about?
Okay, let's start with Mike. He's got about 3 years under his belt. Now, get this. His personal coin collection, like the coins he's physically found and kept.
Yeah.
It's just over $700 in 3 years.
700. Over 3 years.
Yeah, and just to be clear, we're not talking rare doubloons. It's like dollar coins, $2 pieces, regular pocket change people dropped.
Okay, hang on. $700 in 3 years
What the hell?
for all that effort.
Yeah.
That sounds, well, honestly, like a very slow way to save up for maybe one nice dinner. Is this really a side hustle?
See, that's where you got to look deeper. That
Yeah.
$700 stash, that's just what he keeps. It's not his main earning strategy.
Okay, so what is the strategy then?
He averages about $50 per session, and a session is usually like 6 hours. He goes out most weekends.
$50 for 6 hours.
Okay.
So, quick math. Maybe $2,600 a year.
Exactly. Roughly $2,600 per year. Now, I know what you're thinking when you break that down per hour.
Yeah, that's like what? $8.30 an hour, something like that?
Pretty much. Around $8.30.
On its own, that hourly rate, it's not exactly setting the world on fire, is it? For a side hustle, I mean.
Yeah.
Most people probably want a bit more bang for their buck time-wise.
Right. And that's where the other guy, Dave, comes in. His approach is a bit more layered. He diversifies.
Diversifies how?
Well, besides the stuff he finds digging, he also has a YouTube channel.
Oh, interesting, like filming his hunts.
Yeah. Now, it's not massive, only about 3,000 subscribers, but it pulls in around $30 a week pretty consistently.
Okay, so add that on top.
Yeah, so you combine his finds with the YouTube money, and Dave's looking at roughly $4,000 extra per year.
4,000. Okay, now that's starting to sound a little more significant for a part-time thing.
It is. But here's the kicker for Dave, maybe the real reason he does it. He actually just enjoys it. He sees it as like outdoor exercise. The money's almost just a bonus.
That makes sense. Enjoying the process is key for sticking with anything. But okay, getting started. This isn't just grabbing a kid's toy detector from the store, I'm guessing.
Great.
What's the real upfront cost? The barrier to entry?
Good question. Yeah, you need proper gear. Dave, he went the more budget-friendly route initially, spent about $500 on his first detector.
500, okay.
Then another $150 for something called a pinpointer. It's super useful, helps you zero in on the target once your main detector finds something, saves a lot of digging around.
Right, pinpointer, got it.
And then maybe $100 for good digging tools, like a small shovel or trowel. So all in, Dave started for around $750.
$750, okay. What about Mike?
Mike, he admitted he kind of splurged. He got a MineLab Equinox 800. With accessories, that was nearly $1,000.
Wow, okay. Big difference.
Yeah, and he's even upgraded since then to the 900 model. But here's the important part. Both Mike and Dave agree that Dave's $750 setup, totally fine for beginners. You don't need the top-of-the-line model right away.
So we're looking at maybe $750 to, let's say, $1,200 to get seriously started.
Yeah, that's a fair range.
When you think about other side hustles, like food delivery, you need a decent car, insurance, gas money all the time. Compared to that, maybe $750 to $1,200 as a one-off. It's not terrible, actually.
That's exactly the point they made. It's mostly an initial investment. After that, the ongoing costs are like virtually zero, maybe batteries.
Right. So your main ongoing investment is just your time.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've got coins, we've got a bit of YouTube money. Are there other ways, any hidden income streams these guys have figured out, something less obvious than finding quarters?
Oh, absolutely. And this one, I gotta say, this one really surprised me. I hadn't even thought of it before reading Edgerton's piece. Scrap metal.
Scrap metal? Seriously?
Yeah. Mike actually showed the author these sorted buckets he keeps, full of brass, lead fishing weights, aluminum cans, just stuff people leave behind or lose.
Huh. And that's worth something.
Apparently, his last scrap run, just turning in that junk metal, netted him almost $250.
$250 just for scrap.
Yep. And he was already building up another load he figured was worth around $370. The article points out most guides on making money with metal detecting, they never even mention this.
That's actually brilliant. You're basically getting paid a little extra to clean up the places you're searching anyway, like parks and sports fields.
I have a win-win, right?
Totally.
And then, of course, there's the more, exciting stuff. Jewelry.
Ah, the gold rings and lost necklaces.
Exactly. Dave, in just 2 years, has found 7 gold rings.
7? Wow.
Yeah. And here's a nice touch. He kept 2 for his wife.
Ah, that's pretty cool. Smart man.
Right. And the other 5, he sold them for about $200 each.
$200 a piece.
Yeah.
Plus free jewelry for the wife.
Oh.
Okay, Dave is definitely doing all right with his hobby. He seems to be winning.
He does seem pretty happy with it. But okay, before everyone listening rushes out to buy a detector thinking they'll strike gold next weekend, let's pump the brakes a bit. Need a reality check here.
Uh-oh.
Here comes the but. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not easy money. For every cool find, like a ring or a bunch of coins, these guys dig up literally hundreds of bottle caps, pull tabs, bits of foil, just junk.
Loads of trash, basically.
Loads. And it's physically demanding work. You're doing a lot of walking, a lot of bending and digging, often in, whatever the weather's doing. Sun, heat, maybe cold.
Right. Not just a casual stroll.
Definitely not. Mike even joked about having a detector tan and showed off his calloused hands. It takes effort. It is absolutely not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Makes sense. And thinking about the digging, that brings up another really important point, legality. You can't just dig holes anywhere you feel like it, can you?
Oh, absolutely critical point. You have to get permission first. Both Mike and Dave were super clear on this.
Like asking the property owner.
Exactly. Dave actually mentioned getting confronted by security once early on because he hadn't checked beforehand. Lesson learned, apparently.
Oof. Yeah, don't want that.
No. So now he always checks with property managers. Or he sticks strictly to public parks where he knows detecting is specifically allowed. You got to know the rules for your area.
That sounds like maybe the single most crucial piece of advice here. Getting into legal trouble would completely negate any profit, and then some. Just not worth the risk.
Totally agree. So, assuming you've got your gear, you understand the effort involved, and you've sorted out the permissions, where are the best places to actually go? Where are these guys finding the most stuff?
Well, according to Mike and Dave, the consensus is pretty clear. High traffic areas that also get regular maintenance.
High traffic, regular maintenance, like what?
Think sports fields, schoolyards, community parks where they hold events or festivals, especially right after a busy weekend, like after games or a town fair.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Lots of people, lots of activity.
Exactly. More people means more dropped items, coins, keys, jewelry, you name it. And the regular maintenance part is key too.
Why is that?
Because the grounds crews are usually just mowing or maybe aerating the surface. They're generally not digging deep enough to pull out the stuff that's been buried for a little while. So these spots kind of naturally replenish themselves with lost items. And the deeper stuff stays put until someone with a detector comes along.
Right, the lawnmower isn't picking up buried rings. Mike actually called these spots metal detecting hotspots hiding in plain sight.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it emphasizes you don't need to find some ancient battlefield map or hunt for pirate treasure chests. The potential finds are often just where people hang out.
Everyday locations. Okay, so we've covered the income potential, the costs, the scrap metal surprise, the jewelry, the hard work, the legal stuff, and where to look. Which brings us to the big question for you, the listener. In 2025, is this actually worth someone's time?
And Dave, I think, gave the most honest answer to that. He basically said, look, realistically, there are faster ways to earn $4,000 annually.
Faster ways? Like what?
He mentioned food delivery, said doing that just 2 nights a week would probably pay more than he makes detecting.
Okay, so if it's not the fastest way to make $4,000,
yeah,
why do it? What's the real draw?
That's exactly what he followed up with. He asked, essentially, but would you enjoy it as much?
Ah, the enjoyment factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you benefit from the outdoor exercise? Would your hobby give you both adventure and income at the same time? And I think that's the heart of it, right? It's not purely about the dollars per hour.
That really frames it differently. So the value isn't just the cash. It's getting paid, even if it's not top dollar per hour. to do something you genuinely find fun, something that gets you outside, maybe even feels a bit like an adventure.
Exactly. And Mike kind of echoed that. He said for him, the side income is actually secondary
Secondary to what?
to like building friendships with other detectorists and just the satisfaction of finding and recovering things that would otherwise just stay lost and buried forever.
Finding lost history, even if it's just recent history.
Yeah. And remember that $700 coin collection he has.
The emergency fund.
Right. Apparently, he joked it might become anniversary trip money, but he maybe hasn't mentioned that specific funding source to his wife yet.
Huh. Okay, well, let's hope she appreciates the sentiment if it happens. But it does show, again, there's a personal value there beyond just the spreadsheet numbers.
Definitely. So I think our takeaway for you listening is this. Metal detecting probably isn't going to replace your day job. Let's be real.
No get-rich-quick promises here.
None. But if you're looking for a weekend side hustle, something that gets you outdoors, gives you some light exercise, maybe a bit of a treasure hunt thrill, and yeah, can realistically bring in something like $3,000 to $4,000 a year if you're consistent, it's actually worth thinking about.
I have to say I'm more convinced than I was at the start, especially the way they leverage multiple income streams, the finds themselves, the scrap metal, the YouTube possibility, maybe even knowing enough to fix or sell equipment down the line. It's smarter than just hoping for gold coins.
It really is. Just, manage those expectations. It's mostly about finding modern coins, maybe the occasional ring or interesting relic at everyday spots, not uncovering King Tut's tomb in the local park.
Right. Keep it realistic.
And the big one, again, always, always, always do your homework on the legal side. Get permission before you dig that first hole. Seriously, non-negotiable. Oh, and apparently, if you're local to where these guys are, Dave has dibs on the fields in the northeastern part of town. So find your own turf.
Fair enough. Territory matters, I guess. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. What do you really value in a side hustle? Is it purely about maximizing the dollars per hour? Or do other things like enjoying the activity itself, getting outside, maybe the community aspect, or even just the simple satisfaction of discovery play a bigger role for you?
Yeah, it's a good question to ask yourself. We'd love to hear what you think. And hey, if any of you are already doing this for profit, drop us a line, share your experiences. Until next time, keep digging for those insights.